Bharat ki Jai.
Thiru Venkateshan, Chairman, National Commission for Safai Karmcharis, Dr. Nalikupu Swami Chetty, Padma Bhushan awardee and Vice President of Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda College, Swami Dhyana Gamyanandaji, Secretary, Ramakrishna Mission, Dr. V. Chandrasekhar, Principal of this college, most respected monks of this order, former principals, faculty members, invitees, and my dear students. Anaivarkum Enadeniye Vanakam. At the very outset, I'd like to thank the college for organizing this 2 days brainstorming on a very, very significant issue of social work in our country. What do we understand by it? When we say social work, what it means, and what all we need to do from the perspective of what Swami Vivekananda taught us. Friends, when we talk about social work, it has multiple connotations. A Western perspective, it seems to have become a dominant perspective even in our country, perspective of the establishment, where social work is considered somebody is doing a social work, somebody is doing charity. Is this what Swamiji told us? Is this what he taught us? No, it is not. Social work, from our perspective, from Bharatiya perspective, is not charity. It is seva. When you do charity, there is an element of condescension. Seva is something which you are involvement, connecting. You know, Swami Vivekananda was such a huge personality. And his short life, what he taught us, what he left for us, and how he ignited the dormant sense of selfhood in the whole country, all these Bharatiyas. It's monumental, and perhaps it's not very easy for lesser mortals to grasp it fully. But the essence of it, what he meant by social work, it will be relevant if we try to understand the context in which Swamiji not only talked, but he committed his life and life of all those around him to this work, social work. Friends, we know that the lifetime of Swami Vivekananda was a very, very turbulent time. Our country was in a very bad shape. We were colonized, and colonial powers were systematically trying to destroy our culture, our identity, who we are, our darshan, which for want of any appropriate word in English, I will use the word philosophy, because we know that philosophy is not darshan. Philosophy is logical. The root of philosophy is logic, which is intellectual. Darshan is drishti, where intellectual and vidhi both come together. That's why. But we don't have an appropriate, and we are so much used to using the word philosophy. I also heard a person using the word ideology. That is all I think. I don't think we are doing justice to what our knowledge system has given to us. So, Swamiji, where he saw our country in a bad shape, there was decline of what is called purusharth, a sense of pride in oneself and sense in pride in our collectives. There was an atmosphere of hopelessness, despair. People were running away from life, becoming sannyasis, running away. Any small distress in life, abandon the life and go. Leave the family, leave the society and go and become a sannyasi. And in search of so-called moksha, individual liberation. Society was completely depleted of its vitals and vitality. This was very convenient for the colonial rulers, because a society which is not awake, which is stripped of its vitality, its sense of selfhood, will not resist it with it. It's very, very convenient and comforting for a colonial ruler. You continue ruling the country for long, because those you are ruling, they have no strength or will to resist. So here there was misery around. When he went abroad, he went to America, we all know, he went to Europe. There he found another set of situation where he found the material prosperity in abundance, but limited to few. But that material prosperity was causing so much suffering to the rest of the world. Those who had prosperous, the Europe and America, they had colonized the rest of the world, almost rest of the world. Africa, much of Asia, all were Latin America, they were all colonized. And they were exploiting. A large mass of humanity was suffering. So on the one hand, you have in Europe where there is so much of prosperity, in the sense material prosperity, and that too not equitable in their own society as well. But that material prosperity had led, or rather many times accentuated, the human suffering in the rest of the world. And then he wondered, is this world sustainable? Where are we heading? On the one hand, in our country, while we had the wisdom of thousands and thousands year old, since the rishis of Vedas, they had given us about universality of creation. The entire creation is one. It is the manifestation of the one and the same divine. Sarva bhuteshu enaikyam, all beings are one. These are multiple, various manifestations, but essentially, all those sitting here, we are one and the same. It's like leaves of a tree, million leaves. No two leaves are exactly alike because nature does not replicate. And yet, each leaf is integrally connected with the larger tree. So the tree of creation, where we are all integrally connected. This wisdom that came, given to us several thousand years ago. And with this wisdom, a Rashtra was created, Bharat. It was created by the rishis. Because once this light that we are all one and the same, we all become a family. A sense of familyhood pervades. And if such a sense pervades, then there is no conflict. There is no war. You do not believe that if you are in a family, some member will eat, some member will go hungry. No, it won't happen. Family lives together. It moves through the time together. That is where our rishis of Veda says, Sangakshadvam, Samvadadvam, Samvomanansi Janadam. We all together live. No one is big, no one is small. Te ajeshta, akanishtas, udvido, amadhyamasi. You are not big, you are not small, you are not in the middle. We are all alike. This wisdom. And now when Swamiji saw that, look, where we are all running away from life, or we have lost. We have become either so selfish as to abandon the life in pursuit of self-liberation. That means you became so individualistic. How was it different from the Western, when materialistic world, when they were said that human, individual-centric world, that okay, this world is for humans to enjoy, or whoever can enjoy. Those who do not perish. Darwinian principle. That those who are capable, prosper, those who are not, let them perish. No compassion. No sense of oneness. And then he gave the revolutionary message and message of national awakening. First, no, don't run away from this world. Vedic rishis did not run away from the world. They lived in the world. They made the world a beautiful place. They did not move in the pursuit of moksha. Moksha was not something in their thought. In the Vedas, it's all about making this world beautiful. And that is where we do the prayer all together, collectively. When we talk about Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sah Viryam Karvavai, this all togetherness, collectiveness, collective living, collective prosperity, with a sense of family, sense of one family. But we had gone down. That distortions had happened. And then he realized that this knowledge which came to this place, this bhumi, this punya bhumi, Bharat, it was a divine knowledge, divine wisdom, divine realization, and it was not meant only for this land, it was meant for the whole world. Vishwa Kalyan. But how do you do Vishwa Kalyan when you yourself, you have lost it and you have gone into such a state of despair that you are weak, you are feeble, you are materially weak, economically weak, you are hungry, you are starving, you are sick. How do you talk about all the big things? Who listens to you? You cannot talk about ahimsa, no violence, when you are so weak, so feeble. Who cares for you? It doesn't sound worthy of appreciation if a weak man talks about non-violence. If they're strong, and that a strong person says, no, there is a merit. That is what is appreciated. So he wanted this Bharat, this to carry on the obligation of that knowledge, their wisdom, for the welfare of the world. But for that, Bharat had to be strong and capable. He dreamt of a strong Bharat, a capable Bharat, to spread this light of one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Yadu Mure Yavar Mukhalir, the world as a family. And when we say the world as a family, it's not just humans, but humans, plants, animals. The entire existence is a family. To this light, this message to spread, Bharat must be strong. And to be strong, we must go back to the roots, understand truly the essence of we all, wherever we are, in a family, in a village, in a larger society, wherever, in a nation, we are all a family. And when we are a family, when someone is suffering, either sick or hungry, the moment we have the sense of a family, your response is not of charity. It's response of that person's hunger is you feel hungry. It affects you in a different way. It's not that you just throw away something for the good. No, it's a sense of oneness. And that is how in fact, there are instances where he mentioned that, look, if you are going to a temple with carrying some prasadam, and if there is a hungry person, and if you leave him hungry and you go, it is not a bhoga. You give the food to this man. This hungry person. This is service. This is divine. Divine doesn't exist beyond human or beyond the people, beyond the beings. Take care of the beings. That service to others. And he did an extraordinary thing. By this, in the process of serving, of this spirit, it leads to a fusion of nationalism and our spirituality. Vedanta, Karmat Vedanta, not the running away, Karmat Vedanta. And nationalism. Swami's nationalism was not a narrow nationalism. It was not meant for this geography of Bharat. This was meant for the whole world. But for that whole world to benefit it, the one where it starts, the root has to be strong. Strong enough to take the message around. Strong enough not only to take the message around, but to do good to the world, to transform the world in a way that the world becomes a happy place. This spirit is in us, in every Bharatiya. It is dormant, or it is in varying degrees. Its presence is in varying degrees. Because this spirit we have received for generations, thousands and thousands of generations, it is in our DNA. That is, and you go to any part of Bharat. Any part of Bharat you will find, go to the villages, you go to the rural areas, you go, and you find this spirit is still alive. While in cities and urbans, when we see that you are driving on the road and you find someone has injured and lying, and it pains to see that people are just driving away without caring for this person. It won't happen in villages. It won't happen you move away from the urban areas. People are. They feel that the pain of the suffering man is his own pain. Now this distancing we have to close. And that's why when we say of serving, we must understand that when we talk, in our context, when we talk about service, we are talking of the spiritual context that yes, we are serving your own being, your own fellow being, your own family member. And then another part of it, in the serving that person, my own fellows, I am building my nation, my society. I am generating the positive force in the society. Essentially to make this country great, to make this nation great, so that it helps the whole world become a better place. In fact, Swamiji, he inspired large number of people, of course, countless. I was going through unfinished autobiography of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The autobiography is An Indian Pilgrim. He called himself a pilgrim to Mother India. And there he says that, when his family wanted him to prosper and do well in life, personal life, they wanted him to be an ICS officer. He went and he cleared the exam, but he was not happy because he saw the people around suffering. There was something within him. And then he came across Swamiji's work. In fact, he had come across Swamiji's work even before when he was in college. He was so inspired. He said, I cannot leave my fellow countrymen in misery and go in pursuit of my own prosperity or my own well-being. He left this ICS. Imagine at that point of time. Sri Aurobindo, he was deeply influenced by it. And when he came up with integral yoga, where he said the fusion of material and spiritual. Integral yoga is the fusion of karma and jnana or bhakti. All these, bring it together. Not leave the world. We must prosper. We must grow. We must grow with this understanding that we are growing not for ourselves. It is our duty to grow because upliftment of the spirit is raising up of the divinity. A person who becomes more capable, who rises in life and becomes more capable. If the person rises with that understanding that this rises for a larger cause, service of the people, service of the society, that is rising of the divinity in that person. Friends, we need to understand and grasp what Swamiji intended. You all are students of this college, I know. You are fortunate to study in a college which has, willy-nilly, whether you like or not, you are exposed to the teachings of these great souls, the divine souls. But carry that message, each one of you student. You must realize that each one of you, and I often tell my young friends, this what I am telling you is, each one of you must take a pause. When you are sitting alone, think over it and realize one thing, that you are not just an individual. You are not just son or daughter of your parents. Each one of you is a national asset. National asset. And it is your responsibility to grow in life. Grow in life to your optimum potential. And when you grow in life, you grow in life with an understanding, with a realization that you are growing not just for yourself, You are growing for the nation, you are growing for the society. We talk about give back to the society. Yes, give back, share. And you see that positive force that you create, each one of you. Today you are young people, maybe in the late teen or early 20s, at this formative years of your life. But when you grow in your life and you rise to in your respective field, whichever field you are, if you grow with this realization, you will find your life will be far more fulfilling, far more enriching. Today, fortunately, again it is a divine, that our country is now waking up to the ideals of Swami Vivekananda. For a long time, we had moved away, we have drifted apart, even after independence. And as a result, we continued declining. We became poorer, we became sicker, we became more illiterate over the years. We kept doing things, but doing things not in the way that the whole country is a family. But we had moved away, we have drifted apart. But in the last 1 decade, the nation is moving towards its destiny by collective enterprise. When Prime Minister Modi says, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Ellaru Udunum, Ellaru Kagavum, all together, all for all and all together, along with all. This is national awakening. Today you see the wonders that is happening in this country. Till a decade ago, the world did not take us seriously. Today, they can't afford not taking us seriously. Because the country, the Bharat, is waking up to her potential, to her destiny. And this is not with the effort of the government, no. Government is only creating an environment, conducive, enabling environment. It is by the people of this country. My young friends, if this country today is from the 11th economy 1 decade ago to the 5th largest economy in the world, it is because not of the government or government enterprises, but because of the people who are doing it. I have seen in this our own state, Tamil Nadu, we have more than 1 crore 50 lakhs people who have taken mudra loan, simple loan, collateral free, all you know that. This is in a way of enabling the individuals, each individual, to do something, to show the creativity, the enterprise. And of this 1 crore 50 lakhs, nearly half of them are women. And I have seen these women, some of them in the rural areas. They are doing wonders. They are doing small. The women who were sitting idle in the house or maybe as a housewife doing the household chores, now takes the loan, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 1 lakh. It starts doing something. Women getting together, tailoring clothes, meeting the needs of the local market, prospering the family, giving employment, making others' life better. This micro, the students of mathematics, these small micro differentials, when integrated, it makes the change. This is what is happening. Today our country is moving forward or is emerging with energy and bang. It's because of the effort of our people. From nowhere, not even 500 startup till about a decade. Today we have more than 1,60,000 startup. Who are they? They are young men and women like you sitting here. They are the one who are doing it. Their ideas, their thoughts. In this emerging new Bharat, each one of you have a big responsibility. Responsibility because why I'm saying, when I told you in the middle of my talk, you are a national asset. Because the Bharat will rise not by mere talking. Bharat will rise with each one of you when each one of you rise. And that is how. And when you rise with a sense that we are a part of a family. When you do social service, I have seen the colleges and universities, as a chancellor, I know universities have outreach. They say, we have gone to this village, we have gone and done the cleaning. No. This change must be, your outreach must be with full involvement. It must be transformative. Going for a day or two and cleaning a village is not, I will not consider it. It's it's clinical approach to it. I have been asked to do it, I do it. Bring about the change. If you adopt a village and in a way, and involve yourself in that village in a way that a couple of years later you should be able to see the village transforming, changing. That is what you bring the difference. Not just you do it because clinically you have been asked to do it, I have done this. Social service must be transformative. Must be able to bring the difference. Students, those who are now growing up, I know after some time, you will become earner. You will start earning for your family, for yourself. Can you think of, from village from where you come, you see some poor girl or boy, not able to pursue the study, not able to evolve or develop as a complete human being because of adverse circumstances. Can you do the hand-holding by adopting some of them? At least one or two? It won't cost you much. But then when I'm talking about adopting, I'm not talking about adopting from an orphanage. Orphanage, of course you can. But what I'm trying to say is the hand-holding. Take the control. Take this charge as a guardian, as a parent. And let the child study up to schools, college, till the child comes to a stage where the child becomes an earner. If you do that, my friend, I tell you, the amount of self-fulfillment that you will have is enormous. I am not telling you just hypothetically. I am the beneficiary of it. I know how it feels like. It expands you as an individual. You expand to a larger. They become part of your family. And then you have transformed the lives of the people. Wherever you are, in your village or in your surrounding, when you find some people who are discriminated socially, untouchability, unfortunately in our state we have acute untouchability. Nowhere in the country we have untouchability like this. Can you take a promise to yourself that no, I will not allow that to happen wherever I am? In my village when I go and when I find that is whenever a scheduled caste person walks in the village street, and if there is a resistance, you stand by that person. No, he has or she has a right to walk. That is, and then you will be able to transform the village. You will meet with resistance. It needs courage. But trust me, if you show the courage, things will change. Nothing good comes in life without courage. If you want to do social service, do this. How come even after nearly 80 years of independence, we have so much of social discrimination, we have so much of untouchability? Every other day we read in the newspaper how painful it is. You don't have to go anywhere else to do social service. Do wherever you are. Wherever you are, in your own hostel, in your mess. I know that here, of course, it won't be. But to your other friend, wherever you go, stand against anything that discriminates between human beings. No, we are all a family. Whichever strikes the notion of family, the concept of family, stand against that. This will be transformative. You will do a great, great social service. It's not, as I said, it's not like a charity. It's not like a philanthropy. Philanthropy, people say, I'm a philanthropist. No. You see the involvement. Philanthropy is not taking away a part of I have earned so much, so I have given my 10% or 8% I have given to someone for doing it. This is not philanthropy. It's not, you are not throwing morsels to a pet or to a dog. You are the one whom you are giving, that one, or one for whom you are standing up. The one you are holding the hand for that one life to grow. You are involved. It is a bigger commitment. Taking away, if I have plenty of money and I take away from my purse and I give it to someone. No, this is not. Social service with a sense of belonging, the sense of oneness, is what we need and is what our country stands for thousands and thousands of years. This is what we are, and this is how we are distinct from others. Our country is showing it. We have seen it during the COVID. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We walked the talk. It was in action. When the COVID had affected the whole world, and when the rich and developed countries, they developed the vaccines, they looked at it as an opportunity to make more money. Vaccine nationalism began, prices began going, the hoarding began. And when we invented vaccine, thanks to our scientists, even before we were saturated in vaccination, we shared the vaccine with people in 150 countries of the world. This is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam in action. And there were many people who criticized the government and the Prime Minister. How come you are sharing it when our own people are not vaccinated? I said, we cannot wait for vaccinating our whole people for others to suffer. No, they are our own people. They may be in a different countries, but they are part of the family. We saw in G20. G20 has been there for long. But this G20 in 2023 was with a difference. That how come a large mass of African Union be out of it, this important world body? Simply because they are poor? Simply because they are not resourceful? They are not capable? Are we feeling for it? And it was during when Bharat became the president of G20, we included African Union. It must be inclusive. This is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is Bharatiya Darshan, Bharatiya outlook, Bharatiya Drishti to life, to us as an individual and the collective when we see ourselves in the larger whole. And if we do the service with this perspective, this service really becomes a service, a seva. It's not a charity. I'm sure the 2 days brainstorming, the churning that you have, now it will be there in the coming sessions. You will come up with a lot of practical ideas. You will be able to motivate and orient the young minds with some doable ideas. What to do, how to do. How do we develop that a mindset, an attitude, which becomes a part of our sanskar, that we look at other who is less fortunate than I am. Instinctively, I should be coming forward to assist wherever we are. Whether you are walking on the road and you find, whether you are driving, somebody is here to stop it, and when you find a hungry person, and when you find a young child begging or in a deprived situations, helping the child to come up in life. Wherever, that sense of oneness. How, I'm very sure, how to develop that, how to acquire it, I'm sure you will be able to do that. You will have a lot of scholars, a lot of people who are, I've seen the program, are lined up for discussions and talks. I'm sure many good ideas will come, workable ideas will come. And students here, and the ideas that you come up with, it will also help others, because this idea, the knowledge that you create, the light that you throw will not be limited to this college. It will be enlighten the rest also. I wish this 2 days conference the very best, much productive, useful. Thank you very much. Yeah.